happen. We're live, Uncle Sam's Safari Podcast. Sitting here with my friend, the legend. You want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone.
Oh! That was classy.
I think as a host, you should introduce me.
The dirtiest of Dirrs. The dirty Dirr.
Well, cheers.
Hey. Dirty Dirr.
That's what I'm here for.
Sitting here drinking Bud Light Platinum Seltzer.
I don't know if that takes away from our manhood or not, but
Hey, you know what?
8%, pretty good.
I don't know, man. I like all the stereotypical fruity drinks. I like pina coladas, White Russians. They're good, man. I would rather enjoy what I'm drinking versus like trying to be cool. I remember in high school. I shouldn't say that. I remember in my youth. I used to like drink whiskey all the time and brag like, "Oh yeah, you want to watch me drink whiskey?" And it never ended well. You ever had Kentucky Gentleman on purpose?
No.
It's like $14 for a handle.
Come in a plastic bottle.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Those are the worst. Those are the worst.
You talking about getting messed up and not in a good way.
Oh, it's like, you ever heard of Mr. Boston?
Oh yeah.
Mr. Boston. It's like about the same price, about $12, $13 for a handle of vodka. My dad used to drink that straight on the rocks.
God,
like drinking, rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, that's what you clean your car with.
Get that spit shine.
Yeah, you clean the tailpipe with that shit. So you just went on leave. You went back to Massachusetts, right?
Yep. Got
How was
married.
that?
Got married
over leave. Congratulations.
Couldn't be happier.
Yeah, good.
That was the best thing that happened over leave. Other than that, got COVID with my mom, dad, and little brother. So kind of locked down in the house.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Well, at least you got it together.
Yeah. Yep. Didn't really do much.
How was it? How did you feel when you had COVID?
Just a minor cold. The worst part was losing taste and smell. It's really, really weird.
Yeah. Well, I imagine it's kind of refreshing when you fart and you don't smell nothing.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. Just let them loose.
Yeah, I mean the whole family.
And when the wife had COVID, I would just let them go all the time. She couldn't.
Well, you're doing that for her health, because if she smells it, you know she's still sick. So that's a good.
Yep. No, it was like eating food was not enjoyable at all.
Oh. Wow.
And my dad's such a good cook, and being home on leave.
Yeah.
That's like what I look forward to the most, is eating. I couldn't eat. But randomly one day when it came, I was watching football. Dad was cooking chicken marsala.
Nice.
And I'm sitting there drinking a Corona, watching football, and I'm like, I can smell chicken.
Nice.
And I took a sip of my beer. It tasted like beer.
You taste the beer.
It was like I was reborn. It was great.
Nice. This is really random. I enjoyed Corona for a long time, and then one time I had a Corona and it tastes like a cigarette. It was so random.
Did someone put their
No,
bud on?
I had just opened it. So the other day I thought I had COVID because I opened a brand new case of Michelob Ultra, and it tasted bad. And I was thinking like maybe I just got a flat case, but I could taste it. It didn't taste good. I could taste everything else, but there's like a 5-minute period there. I was like, well.
No, I was in denial when I first had it.
Were you?
Because when I got home, it was like 3 days after being home. Dad didn't feel good. When got tested, he was positive. Mom got a cough, positive. Little brother, positive. Mom got it the worst though, but I was like, I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah.
I was around the wife, and when she had it, and like on the back end of it, because I was with her and I didn't get it. She ended up getting it. So.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you.
Yeah, not being able to taste is not pretty. It's not fun.
Yeah.
At all.
Imagine that's a good weight loss plan, though.
Yeah.
They should advertise that in gyms. Yeah. Every gym. It's like you get a free COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Not the vaccine.
Yeah. You just get it.
You just get the COVID. You don't taste nothing.
Sit there and eat celery all day.
That's my problem, because I take that bad. I take that back, because I like food that doesn't even taste good. I just like to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I hear you.
and you were talking about Little Caesars earlier, you psychopath.
I haven't had Little Caesars since I was like in high school.
Ugh. I don't like Little Caesars. It's basically they actually make the crust out of the cardboard that the box comes in.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's
And
advertised. It's in the little. It's in the fine print.
It
at the
is in
bottom
the fine
of the,
print. That's right.
On the commercials.
That's right. They just don't tell you that.
You know, when you're a broke high school kid,
Yeah.
getting out of hockey practice.
Yeah. We didn't have that in Alabama. We didn't have hockey.
I didn't think so. He's got cousin loving down there.
You know, I never had a hot cousin to test me, so there's that. But I'm also against incest, as it is.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it.
I'm not gonna try it. Let me put that out there. That's not something I foresee anytime. I don't know. It's something weird. Like I was reading, even dogs, like when they get in a certain pack, like they won't like mate with anything in their pack because like the gene pool becomes too small.
Really?
Yeah, I read that somewhere.
So they know, like...
It's something instinctual. Yeah, they're like, well, I don't want my future litter to have flippers.
Now, what about cats, though? I know cats just bang like crazy.
Oh, yeah. Cats will do anything. But I don't know. I had 2 Dalmatians when I was growing up, and they had puppies. Beautiful puppies. Yeah. And I my parents wouldn't let me keep any of them. I wanted to keep one.
Did you sell them?
They sold them. I didn't get that. Yeah, I know. Heartbreaking. But
It's the worst.
yeah, but when you're young and your parents are driving the boat, what are you gonna do? You know.
Sit back and relax and drink.
Well, I was like 7, so drinking wasn't in my wheelhouse then. I remember the first time I ever had alcohol. So my dad owned a boat business, and
I like boats.
Yeah, I like boats are cool.
I'm a proud boat owner myself.
No, nice. So he had this boat repair shop, right? Like he would right next to a lake in Alabama, pretty good business. And we would sometimes I'd go to work with him, and there was he always called it the beer joint, which is not the name of the restaurant. I mean, it's closed down now, but anyway, it was like a bar and grill kind of situation. And I went in there like 9 years old talking all this shit, like how I like rum, like rum's my thing, and the only people in the restaurant are the guy behind the bar who was also the cook, and me and my dad, and we're sitting there. I mean, it's like 3:00 in the afternoon, nobody's there, and my dad said, you know what? Pour him a shot. Go ahead, light this kid up.
You were 9?
I don't even remember how old I was. Young. But like, bartender pours me a thing was spilling over the top, and they both said, "Go ahead, kid, knock yourself out." And I remember doing it like sweet tea, like sipping it, and my dad was like, "No, go ahead, you've missed a big man over here. Go ahead, do it." And I took that thing back, and I went cross-eyed, and I was like, "Yeah," and they both just laughed and just hee-hawed at my pain.
Oh.
Yeah, it was. And then I swore off drinking for, I was 9, so at least 5 years.
Well, that's good. You gotta start them young.
Yeah. Oh, that hurt, though. I think you gotta learn a lot of lessons young.
I was never into alcohol, like when I was younger, mainly because of my parents. I'd always and my uncles and relatives, I'd see how like sloppy they got. And I wasn't about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like, probably I was like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
When I like really started drinking.
Yeah.
But
that's about the age. Yeah.
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 But when I was younger, I always said like, oh, I'm not gonna drink, guys.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way like people looked and acted.
How they conduct themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look at me now. We're in the army. The only thing we can do is drink.
You made it.
Which is so stupid.
We're drinking right now.
Yeah, we're drinking right now.
Well, I think there's definitely a maturity is a steep slope. So like when I was younger, like we all used to just drink to excess every night, and now I can have some drinks and just enjoy. Like I get to a level where I coast, and I'm like, this feels nice, and I just keep that. And the next day I'm okay. I say that, but anytime I drink, it hurts me for like 2 or 3 days in a row.
Oh, I know, because you're old.
I am old. Yeah. I'm just an old man who owns a hermit crab.
And does lots of podcasts.
I don't know about lots. So
it's the quality, not quantity.
That's true. That's true. Well, maybe one day I'll be at, well, just like anything, the more you do, the better they get.
Yeah.
So like, the first book I wrote, oh my God.
Stop trying to sell your book.
It didn't sell when I first, it ain't selling now.
You're trying to promote your book. That's all you do is try to promote your book. Hey, I wrote a book.
I will say, my second book was leaps and bounds.
You're talking about your second book.
Better than the first one. Well, I just say that to say, the longer you do anything, the better you get at it.
I guess.
So, I mean, but you were a hockey player, right? Like the first time you played hockey probably wasn't as good as the 100th time you played hockey, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah,
no.
So.
Practice does not make you perfect. Perfect practice.
Yeah.
Makes perfect.
Yeah. Well, that's how the white worm came to be.
I know.
Yeah.
The Yongsong.
The Yongsong Fanny Bandits. That's what we were. That was our basketball team in Korea. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it was fierce out there. And we were going to play the local police department, but there was some bullshit bomb threat that they responded to, like, we can't come play. We've shut down half the base. Get out of here. What? Get the hell out of here. Like that
it was some guy had a rice cooker in his car.
Freaking rice cooker, man.
Yeah.
I think
back to the basketball here. I do recall a championship game, and it was my team. I was the captain of my team, obviously.
Yeah.
The skill that we had wasn't that great, and I could just dribble the ball a little bit better. I was the captain, and we won. And what was the bet that we made?
That the losing team my team that I was the captain of, we would buy you guys dinner.
And it was a spanking.
What? No. It wasn't a spanking.
Oh, it was.
No. It was. What were we playing to? 21?
No, we did. We timed it.
We timed it. We weren't like.
People were dying.
A point away. Yeah, me and Luna were just holding ourselves walking down the court.
You guys were hugging.
Going
down the court.
We would.
You guys would take your own time out. It's just
our friend.
Of you.
Yeah, our friend Luna.
Tony.
Big Tony, Fat Tony. He and I had about the same cardio level. About every 5 minutes, we would just lean on each other and say, "All right,
both broken inside.
All right, we're just gonna walk for a minute. We're gonna let the other 4 guys figure it out."
Mind you, this is a 19-year-old kid in the army, and he's completely broken.
Yeah, poor guy. I don't know. I mean, like, I get it. Like, you get like a legit injury. So I got 2 herniated discs in my back. I got a torn tendon in each shoulder, and then 3 torn tendons in my ankles. So I feel that on a spiritual level. But You know what? I was a gentleman, and we all went to dinner that night, and they were like, "No, don't pay for our food." So I bought everybody a dessert. All right, because that was the only compromise we could make. I even bought your wife a dessert.
Yeah. She was a spectator.
She was the timer.
Yeah, she was the timekeeper.
She was the timer. I told her not to come to that game. I tried so hard to sabotage this game, but it didn't work.
No, it didn't work.
It didn't work at all. I told her, I was like, "You need to piss him off before the game. Just get him all messed up so that he comes in not playing his best." It didn't work.
No, it did not work.
But I sank from half court. I sank nothing but net.
You mean half court? We were already playing
quarter court. Yeah, whatever. But for our court, it was half court.
Just threw it up and
it was a good shot.
Said his prayers, and it dropped in.
We had
Speaking of the wife, she's texting me now.
What's she on about?
She's up with her friends right now, and she's mad that we're doing the podcast without her.
We're gonna do another one when she gets here.
I know. That's what I said.
Well,
but now she's mad at me. She's doing a podcast without me.
We're going to do one. Just lie to her. Every healthy relationship is built on lies.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just publish that one first.
Honey, if you hear this, we're not doing a podcast.
We're not doing a podcast.
No, we're not.
This will come out after.
We're just drinking.
We're just drinking near a microphone. This doesn't count.
They have to be on.
She's going to get here. We're just going to be tore up. She's going to be the only sober one in the room. Her and Mr. Moose going to be dry as a bone. Oh, Mr. Moose is my dog. I love this guy. He eats whatever I give to him.
We just had some calamari.
Ooh, he enjoyed that calamari. I told him he's tasted fried squid, so he's moving up in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of dogs out there that don't even get that, you know.
He's privileged.
He is. He is. You got any pets back home?
No, well, I don't consider them mine since I don't live with my parents anymore. But they actually just got a brand new kitten. They got last year when I went home on leave. Well, last year being 2019, they had a kitten when I was at home. And now this year they just got a brand new kitten. So we were home. We got to have fun with him. Jax and Rocky.
Nice.
Rocky was a little pissed off that they brought Jax along.
Yeah.
But he's a little shit. So.
Yeah. I had 2 cats growing up.
Yep.
I had Boots.
Boots.
Who was the first one. He was all black and had white feet.
My grandma had Boots. I named him Boots.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
He turned out to be. Grandma would always feed him table food.
Oh.
So by the time he died, he was about 40 pounds.
Oh.
I'm not kidding. He was about 40 pounds, and he was vicious.
Oh.
No one would go up to the apartment.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
He'd take your goddamn leg off. Literally.
Yeah. See, my Boots was he liked me, kind of liked my dad, kind of liked my mom, and then, but yeah, he was not a lover. So he would come in during the day, sleep all day. His one spot on the couch, that's where he slept, and then he would go out all night. And I remember one time it was like either Thanksgiving or Christmas. And my cousin's son, you know, we had the family over, and he just kept messing with Boots. And I told him, I was like, hey, it was not a super friendly cat. You might want to steer clear. Well, he reaches over and like twists Boots' ear, right? And Boots reaches up with all of his claws just right down his face. I mean, just gets this little kid. And the kid goes to tears, and Boots is all pissed off. He's like, well, I guess I'm going to go sleep outside now. So, and...
he knew he fucked up.
Yeah, and it's a whole ordeal. And my thing was, like, you know, just...
Leave him alone.
You literally had, like, 20 minutes of time here. But, you know, when you're young, you got to learn lessons the hard way.
Yeah.
So...
Similar thing kind of happened to my next door neighbor. He had this big dog. You know what an Acadia is? Like the dogs that were meant for hunting bear.
Oh yeah.
Big dog. So he had this old one. She was old. Her name was Katie. Big white fluffy thing. Mm-hmm. And she just liked to be alone and just.
Yep.
She was the nicest, gentlest dog. I was very young when this happened, but his sister was over with her young kids, and the kids were old enough to understand right from wrong. Like. They weren't infants or anything. Or babies. Right. Katie was sleeping in the dining room, and my neighbor Greg, who was the owner of the dog, said, "Hey, don't mess around with Katie when she's sleeping.
Right.
She's old. You know, just leave her be."
Yeah.
Sure enough, his nephew goes up to Katie, like jumps on her. Katie was sleeping. Katie didn't like that very much. She flung around her neck, and she damn near bit this kid's nose off.
Ooh.
His nose was hanging off of his face.
Oh, my God.
Yep, so that happened. I remember seeing the ambulance and everything. I didn't go over there. I didn't see it. I heard all about it. But Greg's sister ended up suing him.
Really?
Sued her own brother for her own child's negligence and not listening. Sued him for damages, medical bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually went to court.
Jesus.
I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't right. I mean, it was the own kid's fault. Like,
yeah. I mean, there is a certain like. So I bring up the case of a couple years ago. I read about this, and this was like all over Facebook for sure. It might have made the news, but this kid lived next to some dogs, and what he did was he put his hand in a sock, and he ran his hand through the fence, and was like trying to play with the dogs. Well, one of those dogs took that kid's hand off. I mean, like completely off. So, you know, there's a certain amount of just ignorance that comes from children, right? Like they don't know until they know. But
well, no, this kid he was around, he's probably 10, 11 years old at the time. And, you know,
yeah. Oh, well.
He was told, don't touch Katie.
Don't touch it, yeah. I think it's one of those things that just one day it clicks. Like, you know, you realize like animals do not operate the way we operate. You know, like you can, like, so I worked at a ranch for several years, and I thought like, you know, talking sweet and, you know, being the horse's best friend, like they don't operate the way we do. Like animals are on their own thing. You have to really understand that they operate differently than we do.
Yep.
So
and Katie was the sweetest dog. She was old at the time, but you know,
yeah,
pissed her off.
Yeah,
it's the thing with animals, and even try to push to have her put to sleep too because of it. Because they try to say that she was an aggressive dog and a threat to people, but that was not the case.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think. I don't know.
The police, they came to all of our house, all the neighbors' houses, asked about like the character of the dog,
right,
and all that good stuff. I don't know if it was it was the police, but she did end up getting put down. Ended up dropping the cases, the court case, after spending so much money for no reason, trying to sue your own brother for your own kids. Buck up.
That's bullshit. Yeah. I mean, sometimes kids got to learn the lesson the hard way. I learned
that lesson was a little rough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wish any child to be harmed, right? But, you know, you got to realize, like, when you enter someone's home, that's the dog's home, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they're used to a certain way things go. Like, you know, when Moose is asleep, like, I don't mess with him, you know, like, I will call him, you know, but, you know, he has his areas, like his bed downstairs next to the recliner. Mm-hmm. When he's on that, I don't mess with him. Yeah. You know, that's his space. That's his area. You know, and so, yeah, that's one of those weird ones. Like, obviously, as a society, we value our children more than dogs, right? But when you go in somebody's home, you got to realize, like, that dog is part of that. The dog is part of the home, and that's his home too. Like, you know, Katie was, you know, just existing. You know, she didn't do anything to her that was out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
You know,
she got frightened. She was sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I hate that.
Yep.
I had 2 Dalmatians growing up. Mention that, but they did not like kids. They had at all. Like, they liked me because I was, you know, around all the time, and I, you know, fed them and pet them, and, you know, they recognized me as part of their family. But I had these 2 neighbor kids lived across the street, and they were sweetest kids ever. And the older one, 2 girls, was just walking by one day minding her own business, and Dottie was old. I mean, she was like 14 at this time maybe, and she went and bit this poor girl on the ass, knocked her down, and the girl springs right up, and she's like, "Oh, Dottie, you're so silly, knocking me down. You probably didn't mean to do that." And I was just oh my God, I'm glad you're okay, but Christ. So, but yeah, Dottie died of old age, and then our other Dalmatian, Spotty, he died from complications. He got hit by a car, so. Wow. He had some internal issues. He ended up passing away, and
that's the worst.
Yeah,
that is the worst.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. Like, dogs ask very little of you. They just have nothing but love for you.
Unless they're racist.
Unless they're racist.
Dogs are racist.
They can be.
The same neighbor, he has a corgi now. And mind you, these people, they are not racist at all. But this corgi, for whatever reason, if you have any kind of tan on
pigment,
any kind of tan, anything on your skin, like I'd go out for the summer, come back with a tan, and that he would bark. His name is Kirby the corgi, and he just hated me. And this dog loves me. They would talk. All you have to do is say my name, even when I'm not here.
Yeah.
This dog, it's my neighbor's dog, will look for me.
Yeah.
But if I came back with a tan, it's like he didn't even know me.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the owners or anything, but
yeah.
I never knew that. And there's a lot of racist dogs out there. I don't know if it has something to do with them only seeing black and white, or because they are colorblind.
I don't know. My dad told me a story a long time ago that some friends of his were trying to raise like racist dogs and try to sell them as racist dogs. So they would have them tied up in the woods, and they would have white people come by and be really nice to them, and they would have their black friend come by and just like. Not like hurt him.
Were they trying to like upsell?
Yeah. They were trying to make more money.
Oh my god! So some like,
but it didn't work.
Racist people? That's terrible.
I assume so. This was
terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Buy this dog. He's racist.
But, put an ad in the paper. You don't like your neighbor? Get this dog. But
God. But it goes both ways. I've seen it goes. Not just anyone with tans. Like I've seen dogs racist to white people too. Like
yeah. I think it's a familiarity thing. Like
that's exactly what I think.
Dogs get used to who they're around the most, and then when they see somebody who's different than that, they're like, "Oh shit, we got an outsider." Maybe all dogs are racist at their core. We just don't know it.
Yeah, I don't
know. So my dogs, I always tried to introduce them to as many people as possible, many animals as possible, and they never had a problem. Mr. Moose doesn't give a shit about anything. He'll just, like right now, like what is he doing? He's probably napping somewhere.
Yeah, he's probably asleep.
But whatever. I think a dog is a reflection of the owner, to a degree.
If you can't base that off of like how we're saying like dogs are racist, because my neighbors, they are far from it.
But if that's the thing, the only dog ever saw was white people.
They're also like exactly. Yeah. Like they don't have a lot of people come over, and the dog only sees them.
Right. Well, that's what I think that's where the mailman thing comes from. Mm-hmm. Like the dog just sees some rando come into their house, and they're like trying to protect the house, and they don't really understand. Like, the poor mailman could be bringing a box of treats for the dog, and the dog's just they don't know. They're limited in their mental capacity of what they got.
A little smoke break.
You want to take a break?
Smoke break. No, it's a live smoke break.
Oh, yeah.
It's a working smoke break.
Well, yeah. You know what's funny? There was a staff sergeant who got kicked out of the Marine Corps for hazing, but he, when I was there, so I was in 29 Palms at my job school, and he said, how long does it take to smoke a cigarette? And somebody was like, 5 minutes. He's like, all right, 5 minutes. So let's say you take 5 minutes out of your day 4 times a day. That's what, 20 minutes a day? And they're like, yes, Staff Sergeant. So he was like, all right, so how many hours is that a year? And he did some crazy math. And he was like, so I believe that you shouldn't smoke at work, or that you should have to work the amount of time that you smoked to give back to the Marine Corps. And it's like...
Well, there are some companies, because they'll, if they're strict about that kind of stuff, if you do smoke, they might not hire you because of
the breaks.
Because of smoke breaks.
Yeah.
Just for that reason. I know that's a thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but with that being said, like the human capacity to work, like I know myself, I can focus on one thing for an hour, 2 hours.
Everyone needs breaks.
A
I'm
break,
not saying
yeah.
that, but like
Yeah.
habitual smokers, they smoke usually once an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually once an hour. Unless
Yeah.
they're really busy.
Yeah.
It's
right.
usually once an hour, 5 minutes every hour. That adds, it does add up. So
Yeah.
I can really see his point.
I mean, I understand both sides of the coin, but at the same time, like, as long as everything gets done, like, what does it matter? The world's still going to keep turning, if somebody goes and smokes for an hour a day. Let's say
if it becomes a problem and they're not getting their work done,
Right.
they're taking an excessive amount of smoke breaks.
Yep. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love my smoke breaks. I don't smoke anymore. I only smoke when I'm in Korea.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Or if I'm really drunk, I'll smoke.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I understand both sides of the coin. However, tobacco is one of those things it's probably not going away.
Oh no.
Well, nicotine. I think people are moving from cigarettes to vaping.
I never even smoked before I started vaping. I just started vaping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Started with the Juul.
Oh, Juul.
I was actually one of the first people like in my high school to start juuling, and everyone's like, "That's so stupid, bro. You're a loser. Like, don't do that."
Yeah.
A couple months go by, everyone and their grandma had a Juul.
Yep.
Everyone.
That's just like those commercials, like marijuana kills, and the guy's like, "I'm so high, nothing can hurt me," and he sticks the rifle in his mouth. And his friend's like, "No." I tell you, the more I read about marijuana, the more I'm like, why the fuck isn't this legal?
Well, I know we don't want to get into politics, but now that we do have a new president, and his party is way more lenient on marijuana and drug laws, like Oregon, they just legalized like every single drug.
Every drug, yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot more people would stay in the army if they could smoke weed. I really do. But there's a lot of give and take with if the army were to legalize it.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the army, but like
The government
it has
as
to
a
get
whole.
federally legalized first. That's the first step.
Yeah.
Who's to say like you don't go to work high? There'd be no way. There is actually. I just learned this recently because I was talking about this. This is a big topic in the army is legalizing marijuana.
Yeah.
There's a swab that I don't know what it's called, but let's say the army did legalize marijuana, and you were my leadership, and you thought I was high at work because in the Canadian Army, a little side note, the Canadian Army is you can smoke weed in being in the Canadian Army, active duty, but the rules are it's basically like alcohol too, like it is for the Army.
8
hours prior to your shift.
Yeah.
But if you thought that I was high at work, there's a swab.
Mm-hmm.
You can swab your saliva and test it, and it will show if you had smoked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about edibles though. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. A lot of people they could probably pull off going to work high. I know a lot of people already do. Like I'm not saying in the Army, but just in the regular,
I tell you, I'd
work
rather have
field.
an entire city full of high drivers than drunk drivers.
Absolutely, but the Army, if they did, they would see a huge decrease in domestic abuse, domestic violence, all that stuff. Suicide,
Depression.
health would be better too.
Yeah.
Go home, smoke a joint instead of going home and
Drinking.
slamming like a fifth of fucking Jack
I know.
Daniels and
I know.
getting drunk and doing stupid stuff.
I know.
Most people are gonna get high. They're gonna go to sleep.
Yeah. See, like.
You don't want to hit people when you're high, but when
Yeah.
when you're drunk, depending on the type of person, you're happy drunk, bad. I mean, everyone has their moments.
Yeah. Again, like, I don't understand. So, like, the history part of it, like, the only reason marijuana has, like, such a smear is because because of the paper industry.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
William Randolph
Yep.
Hearst ran a smear campaign against marijuana and hemp specifically because
Piece of shit.
because he wanted to make paper, out of trees, and hemp you can do so much with.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it grows fast, it's not bad for the environment. It's not harsh on the environment, and I would rather somebody who's enlisted have a tough day, go home, smoke a joint, and relax versus like because that doesn't have like a real hangover effect.
Absolutely not.
Because
No, nothing.
you go to work, like you have a rough day Monday through Friday, and you go home and drink to try to solve that.
And
You're worse off.
And you're worse off in every
aspect.
every aspect. Health.
Oh yeah.
And everything, and you're gonna feel like shit the next day too, like most people.
You underperform when you're hungover,
Mhm.
or even
you
they've
get
even
fat
shown.
when you drink because it's
Yeah.
all fucking.
Well, so like interestingly, alcohol cannot be stored in your body. So like your body immediately starts to try to get rid of it. So that's why you got to take a piss when you drink all the time, because your body's like, we got to get this out of here. So the reason you get fat when you drink is because whatever's in your stomach at the time. Shout out to Bella's Italian Restaurants, where we just had for dinner. But whatever's in your stomach at the time, your body says, hey, save that shit for later. We got to get this alcohol out of here. So it starts immediately working on the alcohol because your body can't do anything with it. So, yes, there's weight gain. There's, obviously with chronic drinking or habitual drinking, should I say,
Tears away at your liver,
your liver,
your brain.
Your brain. You don't feel good the next day. Like there is a legitimate, like, for me anyway, there's at least 48 hours I don't feel at 100%, and
Well, that's because you're old.
that's because I'm old.
I mean, it happens to everyone though.
Yeah, but with marijuana, I feel like you could smoke a joint,
Have an edible, do whatever.
Or
There's
have an
so
edible.
many options now.
but you can get to that place of relaxation where you're not stressed about work to the point of because look at those people that do everything sober, like they are stressed out of their minds, like
And that's terrible for your health too. Being stressed is
cortisol. Yes,
so bad.
yeah.
So bad for your health.
Like just being enlisted is a stressful job. But then when you take it home and you're like laying there at night till 1 a.m, you got to get up at 5 o'clock to go to PT. Like,
Yep. It's a never-ending cycle. It's vicious. It really is.
it is vicious.
But-
And I'm not opposed to drinking. Like,
No.
I enjoy beer every now and then.
if I had to choose between drinking or marijuana, if I really had to pick one, it's like those deserted islands, you can only have one thing.
Yeah.
But in this scenario, like you can only have alcohol or marijuana for the rest of your life. I would never drink again. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. Everyone's like, oh, marijuana kills your brain cells, this and that. Well, you know how many people smoke weed and like are billionaires and not even
Yeah.
that, just smart. And
Yeah.
I had a buddy in high school. All he did was smoke weed. He'd smoke pin joint at little pinners, like little toothpicks. Him
Yeah.
and his brother, and they'd do their homework. They had like beyond fucking 4.0 GPAs. They worked out, did their homework, and now they're both going to University of Toronto, U of T. It's like
Nice.
top 3 schools in all of Canada.
Nice.
So these are very smart individuals. One of them is spatial engineering or some kind of space engineering,
Like aerospace engineering.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And that's his major, and he's killing it. He's killing it. So
I tell you, I'm not familiar with what you call them, splinters. I'm only familiar with gorilla fingers, big fat ones. but yeah, I don't know. I think what I would appreciate as a country if we just were like, hey, you know what? Maybe we were wrong about some shit. Maybe with this evidence we have now, maybe we weren't all informed at the time. Maybe we had the wrong information. Maybe we need to take a step back and reevaluate. I would respect that versus like just doubling down on your bullshit every year, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. Society as a whole needs to change. Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
You know what's scary? Not trying to get into politics.
No.
But
I hate it. I hate politics.
Outside of politics, but like there's really two Americas. Like there's two news sources for both sides, you know, and they're getting conflicting information. And it just, but me, as I consider myself a patriotic American, I would like to see everybody fall under the umbrella of the flag, right? Like if you disagree with something, like, let's change it, right? But don't hate America. Like, let's get to the bottom of how it started, how we got here, and let's move to a point where everybody can just exist. You know, it drives me crazy that
there's too much wealth, money, and corruption
yeah,
that is blocking all of
I know
what most sane people are thinking of.
I know. Well, you look at the average American, right? Like, the average American wants to exist, go to work, pay their bills, raise their family, and do things outside of that. Like, you know, like the single mother who has 2 kids, I want her to have every single thing, or every single opportunity that I have, right? Like, I don't want any less for any one person. Like, I want us all to have an equal playing field,
right,
where we can do whatever we set out to do. And a lot of, you know what, I've been saying this for a long time, but politicians don't get votes unless we're pissed off. Like, if you and I were running for mayor of Junction City, Kansas, and my only running point was that goddamn light at 5th and Constanoga right there, it's too long. I want to change the light time. I would get no votes. If your stance was, you know what, that guy's fucking racist. Don't vote for him. He's a racist guy. So, or, you know, whatever, pick whatever. But if you come in with a loaded stance against me, and all I want to do is change the light at that intersection, I'm not going to get any votes. So, you know, it's, I just wish we had a system where people ran for Congress or Senate. You know what I think would solve all this bullshit is if they got paid the military pay scale. Like, don't do it. Don't go in it for money, you motherfucker. You go in it for, because you want to see a legitimate change. Like, anybody who enlists in the Army, Marine Corps, Navy.
You know, I think that's how everyone joins, though. And that's probably how people get into politics, too. You don't go into politics for the money. How should I say this? Everyone, like, from the beginning, like, you know, no, I'm going down the right track here. You know, you want to have some aspect of change.
Yeah.
All politicians, they must have. Because it's pretty hard to get up that ladder once once you're in there. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So you need to change. They change their train of thoughts, their views. They will change it. They will change it.
But how much of that is affected by money? Like,
it's huge.
Like,
huge.
you get somebody comes in and, you know,
but you need to get there first.
You got to get there.
You don't get to the money unless you've.
Yeah. But I mean,
mayors and stuff.
Maybe
you're not making much money.
Yeah, but like senators, congressmen, the people that really affect this country. Governors, like you have somebody come in who owns a company, or wants you to make a law in a specific way, so that it benefits them. Like, see, that's all bullshit. Like, I think if you are in politics,
And we need to stop talking about
and
politics.
we swore we weren't going to talk about politics.
We're kind of not, but we are.
Kind of not. Well, we're not going down one rabbit hole, but
no.
And either way,
I hate politics. I don't claim anything.
I hate what politics has become. It's a tribe. It's just a team. Because you know what is I'm going to say this. We're going to get off politics, but I do too. Politics has become like basically I don't want to say a sport, but like you hope the other team loses just so your team wins. And that's not fair. Like you should want to see this country as you want to see it. Like you should want to see not anybody losing, but everybody winning on the same scale. And I don't know. To me, that's just the most fair way to put it.
Absolutely. I do agree. Now it's time for a piss break.
You taking a piss break?
We're going to take a piss break, everyone.
All right, we're going to take a piss break. That's 46 minutes. I think it's a solid podcast.
I don't know. I think we keep going.
Feel better?
I do. How about you?
Feel a lot better.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's a good sound right there.
Don't that just get your nuts going?
I don't know about that. Definitely some part of me that gets going. I don't know if I've ever been attracted physically to a can.
Well, don't knock it till you try it. Same thing with a cousin. It's just like it.
Call me the one
now,
crazy Alabama guy.
I'm from the north. That ain't me.
Oh, well, we're trying to convince Dirty Dirr's wife to come on the podcast.
I don't even think you've ever said my actual name. You just called me Dirty Dirr.
It's Derek.
Yeah, that's me.
It's Derek Irr.
Earth.
Oh,
jeez.
Hey, Earth. We have several people in our unit that are from Hispanic countries, South America, and they always pronounce you Irf.
Irf. IRF.
It's Irf or nothing.
Hey, you said it.
I did say it. I said I meant it.
Oh yeah.
I meant it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she'll be by in a little while. We'll get her on here.
Yeah.
Should be a fun. We got to get that other. We got to get that other chair from downstairs. Oh man. So you didn't go home to Mexico to meet her familia.
No, I didn't. No, didn't do that. Not yet. I don't know enough Espanol.
Are you waiting to brush up?
Yes, I need to really learn. I
All
took
right.
2 years. Took 2 years of Spanish in high school, but I never went to class. I passed, but I didn't. I should have failed. The first year, freshman year of high school, when I had Spanish, the only reason why I passed is because my neighbor's mom took over the class because my teacher broke her leg.
Oh God.
So she passed me.
Well,
The second year that I took it, we had this old lady who was like her first year teaching high school. Like she only taught middle school beforehand.
mm-hmm.
I did fail the class. I got like a 40-something. But she had to pass me because she didn't give me a final failure warning on my interim report card. So I went right to the assistant principal and I said, this bitch didn't give me a fucking failure warning on paper. So she had to change my grade to a 65 and passed me. So, yeah.
Well, that's how they get you.
Yep. High school wasn't for me. School's not for me in general. I had 86 absences my senior year of high school. Shouldn't have passed.
Yeah.
The only reason why most of my teachers passed me is because they knew I was joining the Army.
Yeah.
They gave me my passing grade and they said, good luck in the Army, Derek. And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I didn't get my shit together till I went to juvie for the second time.
And I haven't been to juvie yet.
Yeah.
No, actually, I won't go to juvie. I'll go to jail now.
Oh yeah, you go to the big house. Oh yeah. Yeah, I shouldn't have passed high school, but
I should not have either.
I don't know. It's a weird time in people's lives, and
Yep.
for me, like I just wasn't mature enough to sit down and like do actual like work, like put any effort in. So when I did 4 years of the Marine Corps, got out, and then I started going to college on my GI Bill, 4.0 GPA. Like, so I think I just reached the level of maturity. Like, you do reach a level where you take it seriously.
High school never meant anything to me. School in general didn't. I never failed any class, not once. Actually failed. I did fail classes, but never failed.
Yeah,
where it counted, because they just passed me. They liked me. I was a great. All of my teachers liked me except for a few, because
yeah,
if they were wrong, I made sure they knew that they were wrong, because I didn't give a shit at that point.
Yeah,
but nope, just really never went to high school.
Yeah, see, I was one of those kids like, and I had a history teacher. His name was Mr. Terrell, and he told me one time, he was like, this is how I know you're smart. You never do your schoolwork, but you show up and you pass the test. Like,
and there's always those kids.
And I did. Like, I wouldn't do any of my assignments because at the time I couldn't be bothered. Like, I had other stuff going on, and girls I was chasing, and parties I was throwing, and but I still showed up. And when it was game day, like, I performed. And I passed all my tests.
And there's always those students.
I know, and I was one of those. And he said every quiz, every test, like, you get a B or an A. Like, why do you just not care? And I was like, I don't know. It's just not for me. So I think it's, I don't know. What's the alternative to that? Like, you go through middle school and you graduate, and then you have 4 years of work and a crappy job.
Yep.
And then you go back to school.
I mean, you'd hope high school, you figure it out, but
yeah,
for a lot of people, they don't. Some do, but some really don't. There's a lot of people back home. That's why taking leave from me, it's really just go see family and a few friends. Mm-hmm. Because there's still kids in high school that are just home. They're doing the same
thing.
Fucking thing. It's probably like that for you too. You're a little older. I don't know if it's.
Oh yeah.
Still have those people. They're just stuck in like that, in that hometown funk.
There's a couple people
just smoking pot. Whatever drugs they're doing, because most of the time everyone's doing drugs.
Right.
Their drug of choice, and
yeah,
they're just not doing shit. They're still living at home.
I know.
And then they expect you to come back and be that high school kid with them. When in reality, we've moved on. Totally moved on.
There's I would say about 60% of the people that I keep up with from high school, they are doing the same thing. They might have moved up to a manager position. And then there's like 30% that went to college and made something of themselves somehow. And then there's 5% that became just worthless, like do nothing with their lives. Mm-hmm. And then there's 5% that did something different.
Or dead.
Well, yeah.
Dead in jail.
There's definitely a percentage of... I was reading about a guy I was cool with in middle school, hated me in high school. Don't know why. But the last I saw, he got arrested for a strong-arm robbery charge. And, like, in a way, like, that goes back to our earlier conversation we were having. People make their own misery. Mm-hmm. Like, so, like, yeah, sometimes it sucks to be where you are, but I always believe if you don't like your life, you change your life.
Yeah, that was my thing too. I just, I knew I hated school, did not want to go to college.
Yeah.
Did not want to go to college at all, and I had to do something.
Yeah, well,
had to do something.
I saw this post the other day, and it was this lady who had showed all of her IDs, like her work badges, right? And she started out at like KFC as like a cashier, and then she became a KFC manager, and then she became a college student, and then she became like a intern at a hospital, and then she became a registered nurse, and then she became the nurse practitioner. And it's like, you know, in America, you really can become whatever you want to. Like, a lot of times, and I'm not going to sit here and say, like, you can... So, like, becoming an astronaut, right, is... The chances of doing that is astronomically high. But you can make something of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so much opportunity out there.
You just gotta, it's a lot of sacrifice, there's a lot of hard work, dedication. You know. There was one of my AIT instructors, you know, what did he say? It was, I don't remember exactly what he said. It's along the lines of like, suck the suck now, or embrace the suck now, to live a better life in the future. I don't remember the exact expression, but you know, pay for it now, and you'll get rewarded later type deal.
I had so when I was 18, 19, and I told my parents, I was like, hey, I want to take a year and just really get my body the way I wanted to. And so when I went to juvie the second time, I started working out, because my first stint in juvie was short. So whatever, it didn't matter. But my second stint in juvie was long. And when I got out of high school, I graduated, and I told my parents, I was like, hey, you know, I want a year to really get to where I want to be physically. And they appreciated the hard work that was going into it. So they were like, all right, take your year, do that. So I had a couple part-time jobs. But during that time, I got a job at Burger King at this strip mall. Well, it was like an outlet mall in Alabama, and they had a Burger King and like the food court. And anyway, long story less long, I got fired from that job because my boss didn't like me, because my girlfriend was a girl he wanted to rail, and he was just so jealous, and he just fired me for some bullshit. And right next door to us was a Charlie's Subs, and the manager over there, her name was Carla, and she loved me. Like, I would always say hello, like, you know, whatever. Like, we would, you know, exchange pleasantries. Well, I was leaving one day, and she was coming into work, and she said, hey, what's going on? I was like, you know, Chris just fired me. And she's like, well, why don't you come work for me? And I was like, okay. So anyway, she gave me an opportunity, and I became an opening manager at Charlie's Sub. So I was like the morning opener. Like, I was out of high school, like plenty of time on my hands. All I cared about at the time was the gym. And anyway, I say all that to say, one day we're working, and it's time for shift change. Carla comes in, she like checks the money, everything's good, and we're talking, you know, everybody's working, and she made the comment, she said, you know, you're going to spend one half of your life working and the other half relaxing.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And I thought that was really profound. Like, you can either work really hard the first 20 years and relax the next 20 years, or you can relax the first 20 years and work the next 20 years. And I thought about that a lot, and I was like, oh, bless you.
Excuse me, sorry.
And anyway, it was just kind of a profound statement from somebody who I'd never thought would have a really profound statement, you know. And Carla, like, the last time I checked on her, like, she's you know, a manager of like 3 different restaurants. Like, she's doing well, you know. I think she enjoyed her first 20 years, her youth, if you will, and now she's working hard. But
I mean, she somewhat made it, you know. She's the manager of a few stores. That's pretty good.
Yeah. But you know, I think about that sometimes, and it's like with the military. Like, sometimes I think I want to re-enlist and I want to just do this 20 and then just coast and get out and get a good job.
Well, shit, I'm about to re-enlist myself.
Yeah, poor bastard.
Yeah, I never ever saw myself re-enlisting, especially after PCSing to Fort Riley here, the great 1ID, not great, terrible. But you know, the world sucks right now. The world's not what it was a year and a half ago.
I know.
But you know, I could get out right now and struggle to find a job or go to school, but I don't want to do that. I'll stay in. I'll do I'll do 4 more years. Hopefully, pick up staff sergeant.
Yeah.
Get some more certs in. Still make money. Do that stuff. Probably do some school on the way, but I just don't want to get out right now and struggle to find a job. I know 3, 4, 5 people, same job who I have, who qualify for very good jobs, and they're all on waiting lists right now because no one's hiring because of COVID.
Yep.
So I'm just going to stay in. I'm going to go back to a good unit, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully in Hawaii.
Yeah.
With the wife, so she gets to go do some good intel work.
Right.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
and experience the real army, the real military, going to a good unit.
Yeah.
Because no one believes me. Not a lot of people do, but I know that there are a few that have experienced the good army, going to a good unit. I don't know if this is the way in the Marines too, like for your previous endeavors, but when you're in a good unit and you're doing your job and you're doing stuff that matters, real stuff. Yeah. And you're not just working on Humvees. You're not doing layouts. You're not dealing with bullshit. It's not a bad thing. It's really not a bad gig at all. It's you go to work every day and you know what you're gonna do at work every day. It's great. It's enjoyable. The people most of the people that are there, they love to do what they do. Yeah. And it's a totally different environment. Yeah. Than being in a force comm unit.
It is. It's totally
not.
Different.
When I came here, all my ships have sailed. I experienced the worst. They treated me like shit when I first got here. Yeah. I was coming from a very prestigious unit. Yeah. Doing a lot of stuff. I was working with all sorts of generals, colonels. All sorts of people that I can't even talk about, but
I know, yeah.
And I was somebody.
Yeah.
I was actually somebody. I had a voice.
Right.
I felt like I'd go to work and I would do something, and it was cool and it was awesome. But coming here, I got talked to like I was an asshole. I was going from working with very, very high ranking people, and then you come here and I'm getting talked to like I'm a child.
I know.
It was very. It was. It didn't feel good. Yeah. It didn't feel good at all, and I tried to actually get out too. I was calling my old officers, everyone who was in charge of me. I was calling them like, how can I get out of the army? How can I get out? Like, I want to get out. Like, do I have to fill a PT test? Like, I that's how much I hated this place when I got here. I was very depressed. Yeah. This place killed me. Yeah. But I didn't have much longer left, so I said I'm gonna stick it out, and I did. You can't go into everything with negative attitude. I didn't come into it with negative attitude. They made me that way. Right. But I realized I had to change for myself. I had to accept it. Right. I had to adapt. I really did. Did. There's some things that still really bother me, but at the end of the day, I met my wife. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Yeah. Greatest person ever come into my life. So stuck it out. Yep. I met her, and now my life is just great. I just gotta leave this unit now.
I know. It's just, Fort Riley is a special place. When we were coming here, I knew nothing about Fort Riley, knew nothing about Kansas. I just knew like the prestigious history of the Big Red One, like our historical importance, you know, in World War One, World War Two, Vietnam, Korea, and I was proud to be a part of that. And then about 6 weeks after I got here, I was like, oh man.
It took me 2 days.
It took you 2 days?
It took me 2 days.
But I get that. So my first unit ever, so I went from Birmingham, Alabama to Parris Island, South Carolina, and then I went to Camp Geiger, North Carolina for infantry school. And then I went to 29 Palms, California for my job school. And then they told me I was going to Okinawa, Japan. And I was like, you know, kind of hesitant, but excited. It was like a weird, you know, like I'm excited, but I'm nervous. Like, you know, a lot of anxiety there. I get there. And for a very short while, the unit I was a part of had the highest suicide rate in the entire Department of Defense.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was bad. And
what year was that?
That was 2013 to 2015. And, you know, a friend of mine was one of those numbers, which messed me up for a long time. Jessica Taylor, you know, and it just, you know, it's one of those things that's like burned into my brain. But when I was there, you know, I was at least fortunate enough to have a good roommate who it's still one of my best friends to this day. And, you know, he and I got each other through that because the only thing to do in Okinawa at that time, my first year there, we were locked down because my first weekend there, we could go out, have fun. And then that next weekend, a Navy guy drowned a Okinawan hooker in the toilet. Like, just killed her.
What?
Well, he thought it was a chick. Turns out it was a guy.
Oh my god.
And long story less long. For a year, my first year, I could only see base, right? And it was very similar to Korea, but where we lived was like 50 yards from where we worked. And all my bosses, my NCOs lived right next to me. And they're always messing with us, you know. They would get drunk and come, you know, fuck with us and whatever. But it takes a toll on you. Like, so I was there. Like, I was like, man, I got to get out of this. Like, this is miserable. And it wasn't even like real. Like, I would have felt better, I think, being in a wartime situation. Like, all right, those are the bad guys. These people over here are my friend. But it was a situation where, like, all right, my boss is my enemy. The neighbors on either side of me is my enemy. Like, everybody who lives in this building is my enemy. Like, the people at the chow hall are my enemy. Like, you know, you spend so much time stressed out about everything, you know, and that eats away at you, like, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I spent 2 years not getting a good night's sleep because you're always worried somebody's going to bang on your door, go mess with you. And I don't know, like, it's weird being in the military and not being in a conflict, if that makes sense. Because, like, your enemies kind of just create themselves. Like, I don't know about you, but it seems like, for me, every day is a struggle of some kind.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, back then, too, especially.
It's always like an uphill battle here. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, it comes down to higher ups. It's all about numbers.
Numbers, yeah.
It's all about numbers, and I learned that pretty quick. I got that at my old unit. You know, you only see one side of it, but you don't see, unless you go to the meetings, and which I did. I was at every big command meeting, and that's when where you really see why people the way they are at meetings.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they only really care about numbers.
Yeah.
People really only care about numbers. But that's the side of the Army that a lot of people don't see, and it's gonna start changing though, because the Army's they want. I don't know about the Army, just probably the military as a whole. That's why we're doing all these foundation things. They're trying to make it more like a family-oriented thing. But at the end of the day, when you're not doing those things, because at the end of the, they're doing it just because they have to.
Yeah.
Are things really gonna change? Probably not.
Yeah.
It's all about the people.
Yeah.
At your unit, and that's why we took our old unit for granted. We really did. Being where I was, we were in a battalion of 82 people.
Yeah.
A battalion.
Yeah.
That's including like the colonel. So
right.
we were very, very family oriented, and that was so lucky to get that unit. But that's what you don't get at a Force Com unit. You don't get that.
Yeah.
Everyone knows everyone, and if you don't know everyone, that's wrong on you.
Right. Right.
But it's tough to get at a unit like this when
they
really just care about numbers.
I know.
It's
See, I was very fortunate in my second unit. I went to New Orleans, which was a super awesome unit. So I went to Mar Forez, which is Marine Force Reserve, but it's the headquarters for all of the Marine Corps Reserve units. So anything the reserve does, they have to go through Mar Forez. I was active duty, and that was a great place. Like, I was in E4 and then E5 in a ocean of majors, warrant officer, like chief warrant officer 4s and 5s, colonels, generals, and like a lot of time my work was making coffee for the colonel in the morning, but I didn't really mind stuff like that. Like, it was a lot of bitch work, but when I did do my job, they appreciated it.
Absolutely.
Like, I had a lot of free time, a lot of time, like, we had a great gym, we had a great area we were in, like a lot of volunteer opportunities, which I took.
Yeah.
And God, being in New Orleans, like, man, I would, what I would put in my mouth to go back to New Orleans. but it.
I really think it comes down. Excuse me. I really think it comes down to the people you work with. It's a huge thing.
Well,
there's so many people here that hate the people who are over them.
I know.
They hate them. Hate them. Like, with a passion, hate them. Like, they talk about them even when they're not with them. That's how deep that, like, hate goes to them. If those people, only, not many people have experienced good leadership and good people who they're working with. It doesn't matter the rank. It doesn't matter if you're a fucking general. It doesn't matter if you're a private. I like me. Like, I was not looked at as a private over there. I was looked at as just someone doing his job. And that's it. But when you got toxic people telling you what to do, and you don't think it's right, and then they just keep doing it, it really does eat away at you. It eats away at so many people.
Yeah. Well, here's what I always told any Marine that was under me and any soldier that's been under me. I've said the same thing. Like, so the Army, so I'll just use this example. Like, the Army its people is its DNA, right? Like, if its DNA is shitty, it's going to be a shitty organization.
Yep.
It's going to be a shitty branch. It's going to suck. But, where I can, I try to make the people that I work with, I try to make their lives better. And that's reciprocated. Like, my guys that are under me work really hard. They do a great job. People that are above me, they see that we produce a good product and they give that back to us. But there's some people that just doesn't click, like the DNA thing. Like, they get so locked into their mindset of, like, how does this affect my day? And that's unfair to both up and down. Like, I would rather everybody come to work and be like, all right, So like the gatekeeping thing, I hate that. Like if we have 10 things to do today, tell me what those 10 things are, and I will tackle that with as much ferocity as I can. But if you tell me one thing at a time, and then it's like 7 o'clock at night, and I'm just getting off work, and you're telling me the 10th thing, like, why didn't you tell me this earlier? I could have done this when I was like.
It's people. It's just different people. They work differently, and it's really hard to adjust to some of those people, because some of those people, most of them who make people's lives miserable, people who just go by the numbers. And you can't do that. Not in this kind of work field. Not at all. You can't. We're all in the same boat. We're all at Fort Riley, or not even Fort Riley. We're all in a force comm unit.
Yep.
And yes, things have to get done. All the bullshit, it has to get done. It is what it is. But when you have those people who just go by the numbers and go by the book, it makes things so much worse. It really does. And then on top of that, you're still being that principal. You're still being that, like, by the line authority figure.
Yeah.
And then your guy, and then your subordinates, they don't respect you. And well, they have to respect you because you have the rank. The rank. But do they really respect you? Not really. Are they happy?
Yep.
No, they're not happy.
See, I would rather somebody respect me as a man before they respect my rank. Because if they respect me as a man first, as a human being, because we were human beings before we were any rank, anything else. Mm-hmm. Like, we all went through elementary school, middle school, high school. Some people went to college, some people didn't. But, you know, we've all shared hardships in our lives. Like, I would rather somebody look at me and be like, oh, he gets it, versus.
And people do see that.
Yeah.
And people see it.
Yeah. I hope so. I mean, I never go to that, like, that level of, like, being an asshole unless I have to. Like, don't get me wrong, that switch is dusty, but I've flipped that switch before, you know. But I would rather just lay out what we're doing. Like, hey, it sucks. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna do everything I can. Like, this is what we got to do. And then this is our end goal, right? And I've never had a problem, but sometimes I have problems, but. You know,
everyone has a breaking point.
Everyone
has, and when that point is broken, it's really hard to get it back.
Well,
it's really hard.
Respect is like a bank account. Like, you can cash that shit out all at one time, and then you are at zero when it comes to respect. Mm-hmm. You know, like, what is a man but his word? You know, like you have what you say and what you follow up on, and I try diligently to follow up on that. Now, sometimes the Army will tie your hands and you can't really do much, but I feel like transparency goes a long way. Like if you say, hey, this is what I foresee, this is what I think's gonna happen, and then if it changes and it's all up a wild hog's ass and it's gone, you just be like, hey, like, I'm sorry, this is what the situation is now.
Yep, and you know, don't get me wrong, like, people, you know, things still do have to get done, but those people pushing out the stuff, the information and everything, if you can't, you know, get behind them, it just makes everything harder. Yep. Things are the way they are. Like, they get stuff put on them too,
right? Obviously,
and then they just relay it to us.
Yeah.
But if that person that is above you is, how can I say this, like, incompetent, or you do not see them as a
like a headstrong leader.
Yeah, like, you know, like, thinking of, like, does this guy actually have my back? Yes, there are things, like, that are untouchable. You can't change. Like,
Yeah.
shit just happens.
Yeah.
But if it's just constant, that shit, people can't get behind that. And it's just gonna wear people down. It really is. It's
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to be said for. I don't know. So like, it's a trickle down effect, right? Like, so if something comes from, you know, the tippity top and it comes all the way down, like there has to be at some level, somebody says, like if it's stupid from the top and it comes down, like there has to be at some point somebody says, hey, that's stupid. Like that's not realistic. Like this is not gonna work in terms of people living their lives. You know, if the Army wanted us to be how the Army wants us to be, they wouldn't let us get married. They wouldn't let us leave like our work area. You know what I mean? Like don't sit here and tell me like, oh, we're a family, you know, soldiers first. You know, don't piss in my face and call it rain. You know,
mm-hmm.
that ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So.
That's a topic we could go on forever about.
Yeah.
And it's not really a tasty one. I'll tell you that. It's not.
Well, so the Army's so big, like I think anything once it gets big enough, like it's unmanageable.
Mm-hmm.
In a realistic standpoint, because you look at, because there's two different standards. There's like the standards of the people pushing out information. Like
it all comes down to numbers.
It's easy
and pleasing the people who have the big ranks.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
It's easy to be a middle guy and kick your feet up on a desk and say, hey, make everybody do this. Versus like the guy at our level to be like, oh, well, I have other shit going on. You said we're a family. You said I should be good as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, it's just, it's like,
It's a cycle. It's not going to end either. It really isn't.
Well, it's hard to have a standing military when there's nothing going on. Like, we just went to Korea, and to me that was a giant waste of money. Like a giant waste of time, giant waste of effort, because you could have, where we were, you could have somebody stationed there for 2 years, just like I was in Okinawa.
And there are. But
you want a unit to leave where they are, to fly out there, set up everything, and just exist and do nonsense details that you have going on. And it's like, why? Like, you know how much money we spent flying to Korea? Like, it's outrageous.
And we ran out of money like the first 2 months we were there.
Yeah. That's why a kid didn't get his bonus.
Jeez.
But, you know, yeah, it frustrates me how the people up top view things, because they're like, oh, we'll just have, what is it, just us, like, rotating? No, it's not. It's several people rotating through Korea, but it's like, I mean, we didn't do anything while we were there. We wore our gas masks on Thursday. You know, that was good training, I guess.
That's the only day...
The only day North Korea can attack is Thursday.
Yep.
Apparently that's the only way that they can throw chemical at us is on Thursdays.
But...
if they're listening.
But see, yeah, that goes back to, I would rather somebody say like, hey, maybe we're not doing it right. Maybe we can do it better. Like, shouldn't we be constantly trying to improve as a society? As a military, shouldn't we always be fluid, trying to improve? Like, I understand certain things need to be in place for tradition's sake And
it's not even tradition. It's just for order and
discipline. Yeah, I get that, but there's got to be a time where like people look around and be like, "Wow, this is stupid," and that never happens. And the people in the middle,
well, no, people do see that, but the people who do see that, they can't change it.
they should try at least. You know, like every time I've seen something ridiculous, like I've at least voiced like.
And then you know
This
what
is
they'll
stupid.
say? They'll be like, "Yep, it is stupid, but guess what? It has to get done."
I know. Well, like the gas mask thing.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't we just wear a gas mask all the time? Hope I don't go back to Korea and have to wear my gas mask all the time. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. But the people at the tippity top, you know, they don't have to pack their own bags. You know, they don't have to do anything. They just show up on a, you know, first class flight. You know, they get shuttled around everywhere.
Because they earned it. They have the rank for it.
They forget a lot, I think. One thing I've tried to do diligently is never forget the hard times I went through. As like an E1, E2, E3, E4. Like I try so hard not to forget that shit because that has made the biggest difference in my leadership style. Because I remember those shitty days.
I never really experienced any of that stuff.
You know what they made us do in Okinawa one time? They said, "Hey, the dumpster's looking kind of gross. You guys should paint it." We said, "Okay." So
what color?
So they gave us some buckets of paint. It's like July in Okinawa, and it's 120% humidity.
Stupid humid. Yeah.
Oh man, we're out there,
Oh.
and we all stripped down to like just our pants. Like we had taken our shirts off, like we were painting this dumpster, and our gunny comes by and he says, No, you got to paint the inside too." So it's like
You had to take out all the trash.
1600. We took out all the trash, had shit leaking all over us, no telling what it was. Painted the inside of the dumpster, let it dry, filled it all back up, and then he comes by at like 2200, and he was like, "Yeah, it looks all right. Give the outside another coat of paint though." And then, so I mean, it's just like I've been in those situations where some dickhead like looks at something and it's not to what he wants, but he's not looking at the realistic part of it. Like I had sunburn.
He's
like,
looking at he has rank and you don't.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you have nothing to do. I could see it like for punishment, but not just. I don't know. That's a whole. We could go on for days. I'm telling you, we could go on for days.
I could. Yeah.
Shit like this.
Yeah.
It's not really worth it.
Well, I think. So I mean, I will say the military will give you a certain level of like grit, like just toughness that you weren't aware that you were capable of achieving.
But the military is getting soft, though.
Oh God, yeah.
It's getting soft. It's like,
I know.
let's look out for your feelings.
Well, so
It has to, because everything's changing and things are happening.
but when you think about it from a legitimate war perspective, like the people that want to come over here and slit our mom's throats in front of us, they're not going to care about our feelings. Like,
No.
you know, you have to be tough. Like you have to have a certain level of.
You're still in the United States military.
You're still in the military, yeah.
Yep.
And it drives me crazy sometimes, like how much we cater to people's delicate sensibilities. And sometimes I get it. Like if it's a religious thing, if it's a I don't know, like certain situations, right? Like we should. I'm not saying, and so that goes back to the fluidity thing. Like we got to be fluid. We have to always be changing.
You got to give and take, you know.
Give and take.
It goes to both sides. It really does.
Yeah, but
there's always a line.
But to sit here and I can name you. Well, matter of fact, the shorter list would be the 10% of people in our company who I would go to war with, you know. But the other 90% of people, and just who we work with, who I would not go to war with. I mean, that's a scary number.
Yep.
Like.
Yep.
You know, and I don't know what the Marines are doing these days, but. You know, when I went through basic training, like it was not a comfortable experience. Like nothing about it.
You just need the people who just don't drink the Kool-Aid. And what I mean by drinking the Kool-Aid, just they don't go by numbers. You know, they will look at every situation. Like they won't. You know, someone tells you to jump, they don't say how high. They say why. And they look at it in their own aspects and with their own views.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good leadership. That's good everything. Yeah. Yes, things still need to get done.
Yeah.
But they have their own voice and they speak up when they don't see right.
Yeah.
Or when they see wrong.
Yeah.
But it's tough to find it. It really is, because so many people, because all in the back of their minds, what do they care about? They care about their NCOERs, their officer record,
their reports. Yeah.
They care about their reviews.
Their reviews. Yeah.
They care about how they look. How are my numbers? Because at the end of the day, it's their own ass. It's their own career. Do they want to promote? Do they want to move on?
I know.
So at the end of the day, people end up drinking the Kool-Aid, but it's the people who still can get the job done without making other people's lives that much miserable.
I know.
Yes, things have to get done. I've said it fucking 13 times now. Things still have to get done. There's still that suck aspect of everything. Every work has a suck aspect. Not even military.
Yeah.
Things need to get done, but if you get those people who think for themselves and they're not robots,
right,
it makes so much,
such a difference.
It makes such a difference, and it makes other people's lives like so much better. And
yeah, so the Marine Corps had a big thing, like, don't be a robot, like, think for yourself, like, does this make sense? So when I was coming up in the Marine Corps, have you ever heard the wet monkey theory?
No.
All right, so the wet monkey theory is these scientists put 5 monkeys in a enclosure, and they had this raised platform, and at the top of the platform was all these bananas. And every time a monkey would go up there, they would spray them all with water, just ice cold water. And after a while, the monkeys learned not to go up the platform. Didn't matter what was up there. They just didn't care. Well, they took one monkey out and they put a new monkey in. Well, the new monkey tried to go up the platform and get the bananas. You know what the other 4 monkeys did? They beat the shit out of them. Really? Yeah. And after a while, that one monkey learned, don't go up the platform. Well, they stopped spraying them with water. And after so long, they had to replace each monkey. So you had generations of monkeys. So you had, I mean, this is like 5 years down the line. You had hundreds of new monkeys that they introduced, and everyone would get the shit kicked out of them by the group of monkeys, because that's what happened to them. And they had never sprayed. So like 5 years later, they never sprayed any of these monkeys, and they introduced this monkey, and he went up the platform, and they beat the shit out of him. And the mindset is like, just because we've always done it that way, it doesn't mean we have to do it that way now. And that was the Marine Corps' mindset. However, the Marine Corps fell into a bad system of, well, this is how we've always done it. This is how we're going to do it. And I feel like the Army does that way more. And I feel like the Army is more like, well, this is tradition. Like, this is how, General Custer did it. This is how we're going to do it.
Well, you're gonna see everything change. Not even military. Within the future, people are they already are changing. Obviously, there's so much going on right now.
Yeah.
Once this old money generation gets out of here, hopefully the newer generation doesn't turn into, like you said, the monkeys just beating the shit out of them, and that can relate into everything else. This younger generation does not turn into like my generation, like that, or your generation does not turn into those monkeys beating the shit out of one another.
I know. Because
that's what you hope.
That's all we know.
Yep.
Yeah.
But things need to change, and you can't just go with the flow. You can't. But people are like that because they think they have to be just to please the higher.
Well, have you seen those experiments they've done where like they'll have like 4 actors in an elevator and one like random person that gets on, and all the actors will turn to the left. And like the one random person will like turn to the left because everybody else did it. Another example is like they had a waiting room at a dentist office, and every time they dinged the bell, everyone stood up. And it started with 10 actors and one random person. They dinged the bell, everyone would stand up. And the random person was like, what the fuck is going on? So they would stand up.
And they thought that they had to
and they would slowly replace every actor with random people. And after like 3 or 4 hours, they would ding the bell and all these random people were standing up for no reason. And it's like, why?
People will change because they think they have to, because that's what everyone's doing.
It's scary.
Yeah,
like
it's vicious.
It's scary how much the psychology of like groupthink or like a hive mind almost. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've never been a fan of it.
Nope. It's not good. It's not good for anyone.
I know. But in the military, that's hard to do because the flag goes off.
There's so many regulations and
this
and that.
I know. Well, part of that goes into, there was a situation where I don't even remember what it was, but somebody who outranked me was telling somebody lower than me, like, I don't know if that's right. Like, I don't know what the regulation is. Like, da-da-da. And they went and looked it up. And it's like, yeah, well, the regulation doesn't say that, but I still don't like it. And it's like, I don't give a shit what you like. Like, I signed a black and white contract telling me exactly what I have to adhere to. Like, I would rather enforce that versus what I like or dislike. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, who gives a shit what I like? Like, somebody signs a contract, that's what they're held to. Like, it doesn't matter what my opinion is, per se, but it just.
Well, shit. Here we are. We're in it.
We're in it. No.
Can we change it? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, no. You're right. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think every little decision echoes out into the bigger picture eventually. Maybe not, because the decision you make today might not affect your life or anybody's life around you, but it could affect those in the future.
You would hope so.
You'd hope so. Yeah.
Will it? Slim chance, but
maybe.
You would really hope so.
You'd hope so. Yeah. Well, you know what the biggest travesty is? And I wouldn't say it's a travesty. I would say it's a national accomplishment. Is the Chiefs beating the Buffalo Bills recently?
Are you saying this because I'm wearing a Buffalo Bills shirt right now? Or you're just throwing shade at this point?
No, I really wanted the Saints to go all the way this year, but
well,
they didn't.
let's go Brady now.
I'm hoping for Brady.
These, I just really want that big FU to the Patriots fans. Brady leaving. Already going. He's already done it.
You're from Boston.
I know I'm from New England.
Well, from New England, yeah.
Yeah, yes I am. And I hate the Patriots. Hate them.
Why is that?
Had some bad experiences with tons of Patriots fans.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I watched my father and my uncle get arrested for doing absolutely nothing at a Patriots game. Just because Patriots fans didn't like my father and my uncle because they were wearing Bills gear. They weren't even drinking.
Are they Bills fans?
Who?
Your father and your uncle?
Yeah. They're from Buffalo.
What? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, that makes sense.
And we were at Gillette Stadium. Mind you, this is a fucking preseason game. Didn't even matter. And these drunk Patriots fans were picking on my dad and my uncle because they were wearing Bills gear.
No.
My uncle was drinking. He wasn't being belligerent. I was like 12, 10 when this happened.
Yeah.
And my dad wasn't drinking. He was driving. So, alcohol in his system. They started throwing alcohol at us. I was wearing Boston Bruins gear, so like a local team,
Yeah.
I wasn't really big into NFL yet. And they got arrested. The ushers and the police came over. The state police came over because they have state police at all those NFL games. Like, what the hell is going on here? Oh, these fucking Buffalo Bills guys, they're fucking causing trouble. It was literally me, fucking 10, 12-year-old me, and my sober dad and my uncle. And weren't doing anything stupid. It was a fucking preseason game. Didn't mean shit. And they got arrested.
That's unfortunate.
They got arrested.
Yeah.
And it happened twice.
Really?
The second time I wasn't there for the second one. But they got arrested twice because of Patriots fans, and I don't like them. I don't like Patriots fans. I don't like the Patriots. I hate them. I can't stand them. All they care about is winning.
No.
They don't give a shit. And they hate Brady because he left. Look at him now.
Man, I hope he makes it.
I really want him to win the Super Bowl. Fuck the Chiefs.
Well, in a way, I wanted the Patriots to go all the way because they had Cam Newton.
Oh. For what? Cam Newton.
I like Cam Newton.
Okay. I don't like the Patriots. I just don't like them.
Yeah.
You could ask, I'd say 60, 70% of Patriots fans, they only watch Patriots games. They don't give a shit about the game. They don't watch NFL.
Yeah.
This is from the people that I see, and I know what the hell the deal is.
Right.
They don't really care. They watch the Patriots and they want them to win.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's because that's their local team, and it goes with it goes across the whole nation. And you can ask most people, they hate the Patriots. They hate them because they won. They won so much.
Well, I'm from Alabama. We don't even have a pro team.
I just have issues with the New England Patriots. I have my own personal gripes because of that shit.
Yeah.
But I guess it happens everywhere, so can't be too mad. But yeah. That's why I am not a New England Patriots supporter. So let's go Bills, even though we lost yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well,
best run we've had in about 20 years.
19 years, 20 years, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, it was a good run.
It was. And now I want Brady to win. Just despite the Patriots fans.
Yeah, I'm a Saints fan because that was the first city I went to that had like a pro team, and
you were stationed there too.
I was stationed there, yeah, and I don't know. I that goes back to.
I think the NFL's rigged anyway. I do. I'm one of those fucking people. I really am. I'm a hockey guy.
Yeah.
Big old hockey guy.
My brother-in-law is a hockey guy.
Yep. Been playing hockey since I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually just skated a few weeks ago. 2 weeks ago I skated for the first time in 2 years. I brought my skates back from home.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Ice skating?
Yep.
Not rollerblading?
No. I can rollerblade. Used to play street hockey with rollerblades, so it's good time.
Fruit booting.
Fruit Putin.
I don't know.
What the hell are you talking about?
I heard that on TV one time. Yeah, so like in the South, it's a lot of SEC, like college football, because it's all we got, because we can't afford a fucking pro team. But Auburn fan, War Eagle, die hard.
Not big into college football.
You cut my neck right now, it'll bleed blue and orange.
Will it?
Oh yeah,
Will it?
I hope so.
Let me go to my car and grab a knife real quick.
But so I feel like Patriots fans are a lot like Alabama fans, like those people, like Grady.
I don't know if you want to talk about that. He follows sports.
I know.
He really does follow sports. When I meant about the Patriots fans, most of them just follow the Patriots, and that's it. They don't know dick all about sports.
Well,
like me, I am a very, very wide range of. I like sports.
Yeah.
Hockey being my main sport, but I know a lot about sports.
yeah.
Or I like to think I do. I definitely do. That's what I do. I sleep, eat, and breathe hockey.
Yeah.
But I know a lot about most sports.
You know what I've noticed? Most Auburn fans had some sort of relation to the college somehow. And most Alabama fans went to a gas station and bought a t-shirt that said Alabama on it. And they're like, well, hell, they're going to win anyway. Might as well cheer for them. But that was a big division in my marriage because my wife's a big Alabama fan. And my mother-in-law works at the University of Alabama, so I can't really talk too much shit. But
you gotta give it to him. You know, I used to hate. I still do hate Brady. I do. But goddamn, he's good. You gotta.
He's good.
You gotta give it. He's the GOAT. He is the GOAT, and he's about to win his 7th Super Bowl.
I hope he wins it. Only, well, who's the other team going to the Super Bowl?
It's the Chiefs and the Buccaneers.
Chiefs and the Bucks. Wow. Well, the Buccaneers haven't had a Super Bowl run in how many years?
In about 20.
20 years? Yeah.
20, 25.
Last time they had it was with, what's his name?
Oh,
big defensive guy.
I don't remember. I'm not that old.
I remember.
And I don't really... Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, what was that guy?
I'm getting tired.
Man, what was that guy's name? Anyway, yeah, but you know the Buccaneers, like they need it. They need a win. I'm a Florida.
I think they'll do it. I think they will. My money's on them.
Good. So I like Florida as a state. I like Florida. Need to claim my residency as
like Disney.
Oh, I love Disney.
You like Disney?
Oh man,
I want to go back. I really do.
Let me.
I
No,
no.
We'll do a bro trip.
I got to bring the wife. She's never been.
Let's do it. We'll bring her, and it'll be a good time.
I want to. I want to go. I really want to go. And I already told her. I said, when we have kids, we are not bringing our kids to Disney when they're like under 10 years old.
Thank you.
They will go.
They don't remember shit.
Fucking remember shit.
I went to Disney World
I went twice. Once when I was real young, and I remember the only thing I remember, I was throwing fucking candy off of my hotel balcony, off the fucking 45th floor into the fucking pool. That's the only thing I remember.
My mom took me to Disney a bunch of times as a kid. And SeaWorld and
and I remember swimming with dolphins too. That's the second time that
I don't remember that.
I swam at Discovery Cove. I swam with the dolphins.
At
it was
SeaWorld?
sick. No, Discovery Cove. It's at SeaWorld. It's in Disney, right? SeaWorld.
SeaWorld is a different entity than Disney.
Well, whatever the fuck it is. Like I went to Discovery Cove. It's in Florida.
It's in Orlando. Yeah. Well, my mom took me.
I swam with stingrays, the people who killed
That's
Steve
pretty cool.
Irwin.
Yeah,
Sharks.
yeah.
It was
water pancakes. Man.
It was pretty cool.
See, my mom took me to Disney, SeaWorld. What's the other one?
Epcot.
No.
There's 5 parks.
No, not Disney. It's the studio. Fuck. Universal Studios.
That's one of the parks.
She took me all those when I was a kid.
That was really cool.
You know what I remember out of all those trips when I was a kid? I remember being in SeaWorld and being exhausted and being like, as
It's
like
tiring.
You think like a 6-year-old.
You think you can do all this shit?
I remember being like,
There's a lot.
"Fuck this!" Like, I want to go home. I want to take.
But when
a
you
nap.
go, you want to go and you want to do it right. You want to get the fast passes. You don't want to fucking wait in line. Fuck that shit.
See, I want to
You
take
gotta
my
spend the
kids
money.
when they're like 16.
You know, they're teens. I'd say teens.
Teens,
Definitely teens.
Well,
Fuck going when you're. I went when I was 7 the first time. It was like 7 or 8.
You don't remember
and
shit.
I barely remember shit. It ain't worth it.
it ain't worth it. So
It ain't worth the money. It's a waste of money.
when my wife worked there, and I got to go as an adult, like I remember everything.
Good old time.
I remember the small details. Let me tell you, as a customer service industry, Disney has mastered it. Like I have nothing but nice things to say about my time at Disney World. But as a matter of fact, if I get out after this contract, I'm sending Disney World my resume. Just be like, hey, wherever you got me, I don't care. Yeah. I'll scan tickets coming in. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm gonna take another quick little piss break here.
All right.
I'm gonna keep talking.
I'm gonna keep talking.
You gonna keep talking?
I'm gonna keep talking.
I'll be right back.
Hey, find my dog.
Okay.
Let me tell you, one time, my wife and I were at Disney World, and I remember we were at Epcot, and I had been drinking all day, and we were sitting on a curb way outside, like the normal flow of traffic, and this little kid comes over and jumps over my legs, like a parkour event, and I flipped him off, and then he was like, and he was so offended, and then he ran back into the crowd, and I remember thinking, great, I gotta fight this kid's dad now. That's fun. But Epcot is my favorite park, and then next is Animal Kingdom. We're talking about my favorite parks in order.
Ooh, I like
Epcot, number
Epcot.
1.
I like Epcot.
And then number 2 is Animal Kingdom. Number 3 is the Magic Kingdom. And then number 4 is Hollywood Studios.
I like going on the Jaws. The Jaws one, that was cool.
That's Universal Studios, you fuck. It's a different park.
You
It's
just
a
said-
different
you just
company.
Said, you just said Hollywood Studios. It's the same fucking thing.
No,
Universal.
it's not. There's no.
What?
Disney has so all right, hold on. There's 2 different companies altogether. Universal Studios has the Jaws ride and I think Terminator and a bunch of other things. But
Men in Black, all that
Men in Black,
shit.
yeah. But Disney has Hollywood Studios, whereas like the
Where they're like filming movies and shit.
kind of, but it's a park.
It's where like Honey, I Shrunk My Kids is there, or whatever the hell it's called. I think that's what it's called. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's an attraction there.
Maybe for sure, but it is the oh shit! It's the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
Oh, that Tower of Terror. No, that's Universal.
No, it's not.
What?
I just went there. What are you
Oh
doing? The
my
fuck are you
God.
talking about? You talking about the guy? Talking to the guy.
All right.
They're 2 different companies. I'll tell you. If you go to a Disney person and be like, hey, Universal Studios, they'll be like, fuck
Oh,
you.
that was a good part of the Magic Kingdom was the Haunted Mansion. Like the
Dude.
It was like the Eddie Murphy movie one.
Yeah,
It was
Haunted
that
Haunted
that was
Mansion is
sick.
like my go-to.
That
Like
was
anytime
sick.
I'm in the
Space,
Magic Kingdom,
Space Tower, Space
Mountain.
Space Mountain.
That's
That
Epcot.
No.
Yes, it is. You're talking to the guy.
No.
You talking to the guy.
No, there's one.
Go ahead, Google it right now.
There's one in the
Google
Magic
it.
Kingdom.
Google it.
There's
Go
one
ahead.
with a train, and then there's one with the space fucking roller coaster, the inside one.
Go ahead, Google it.
I will.
Go ahead.
I will. And then I like the this one's in Hollywood too. It's the Mummy ride.
That's Universal Studios.
Your shit.
Google it. Google all these things you're saying. You're talking to the guy that went there the last 2 or 3 years. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing a Google search. What are you doing first?
Space Mountain.
Space Mountain? You handsome fuck. Where is it? Where is it? Go ahead. Tell America. Tell the world.
Magic Kingdom.
No, it's not. Let me
Yes,
see.
it is.
Let me see.
Space Mountain in Magic Kingdom.
Let me see.
Right there. Ooh. Right there. Magic Kingdom. Fucking knew it.
You are out of your mind.
I'm absolutely
No, that's
not.
Walt Disney World Resort. Hold on.
That's the Magic Kingdom.
No, it's
you
not.
Fuck.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I remember that shit. I'm telling you. They had Thunder Mountain.
Thunder Mountain is a Magic Kingdom.
And so is Space Mountain. I would.
You are out of your mind.
I am right. And you're going to tell the fine people.
Hold on. Let's go to the judges.
Or you're going to go to your phone, your stupid phone.
Hold on.
It has the fucking map right here. Location.
Hold on.
Who are you calling?
Call my way. Hey,
Magic. It's in the.
Will you settle an argument for us?
Jesus. Yeah, what's up?
Where is Space Mountain?
What park is it in?
Magic Kingdom?
I fucking
Son of a
you
bitch!
piece of shit! I told you.
What's in Epcot?
Mission Space?
Mission
I
Space.
told you.
Son of a bitch.
I told you.
Son of a bitch. All right. Well, where is Space Mountain? Where is that?
It's in the Magic Kingdom. We're looking at a map right now.
Hey, tell us where Space Mountain is in the Magic Kingdom.
I can see.
Tomorrowland?
Oh my
Says
god.
it right there.
All right. Well, I was only half wrong.
You know my roommate Courtney used to work at Space.
Courtney's very nice. Yeah, I thought we were talking about Epcot just now.
I told you.
Were you wrong?
Yes, he was.
Barely.
Yes, he was.
I was thinking about
Barely. I think, damn.
I was thinking about Mission Space.
I'm ashamed.
Well, you should be.
Yeah, I'm very.
Will you tell him there's a difference between Hollywood Studios and Universal Studios?
I wasn't fighting you on that one. I just forgot about that.
I mean, yeah. Two completely different companies.
That's what I said.
I
said.
wasn't really arguing.
But
I
he
just
wasn't fighting you, so it doesn't matter.
totally
Why don't you
forgot.
be right about something?
Totally forgot here.
All right. Well, I was telling my friend Derek here how Epcot is the superior park for adults,
And it is. Because you can go to any country you want and eat food.
and you can drink
Yep.
and drink. All right. Well, that's all I wanted. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Well, we went to the judges. And,
The judge is right here. Google. You know what? We should have just called Walt. His head's frozen.
His
in the
head's
freezer.
frozen in a freezer.
Yeah.
Well, ain't that a bitch? I was thinking about a different ride. Mission Space.
Now you have to go take a shot of gin. That was a losing loser.
We didn't agree to that.
It was an agreement. Fuck, I want to go to Disney now.
I want to go to Disney. Let's take the wife.
Shit, I really want to take her.
Let's go.
Right now.
What are we waiting on? Let's put in leave.
Let's go right now.
I'm negative
I don't have
23
leave.
days in the hole.
Yeah, I don't have much leave right now. I gotta save it for this PCS, so fuck.
Yeah.
Really want to go.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you about.
Is it really that expensive to go and do stuff?
Pretty high.
Not
But
right, not right
but if
now,
you
I
do
don't
military, go through Shades of Green Resort. They have a lot. So like the first day is $125 a ticket, and the next day's like $90, and the next day's like $50, and the next day's like $25
for like fast passes and shit.
for
too?
everything. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Shades of Green,
That's
man.
not bad.
Military, yeah.
The problem is you gotta eat and shit.
You don't have to.
I know you can bring food. And
Just
and
starve.
with you.
Be a man.
Be a man.
No, I would totally be down if you guys want to go to Disney. I'll give you the tour.
I want to go to Disney.
I'll give you the tour.
I've been to Disney, not since I was a little kid, but
I'll give you the adult tour.
hell, I knew there was Space Mountain in Magic Kingdom, so
Whatever. We'll get the wife. She'll love it. She'll love everything about it. So, I like Disney. Disney's a good place. Well, sir, we are at 1 hour and 58 minutes.
Yeah.
You got anything you want to say to America? To the world?
To the world.
To the world. It's on YouTube. People in all over the world can look at this. G can look at this.
Speaking of the Katuses, have you seen Park?
No?
Do you like follow him on like social media and stuff?
No.
He's ripped.
Is he?
Yes.
Show him.
I don't have social media, but the wife does, and she showed me pictures of him the other day. He's like very like in extremely good shape.
Yeah?
Like he's big.
That's good.
Yes. He's happy. He's
About
out
time.
he's out of the Rock Army,
You're good.
and he's doing great.
Good. Good
So,
for him.
Super happy.
That's good. That's good. Well,
Yeah.
that's
Never
all.
want. I won't forget about the Katuses. I really won't.
I still talk to him every now and then. Yeah.
Yeah. The wife talks to Kwan all the time.
Yeah. Guan's a good guy.
Yep.
Him and Cha are the only ones that are still there that I still talk to
Really?
regularly. Yeah. Because G and Park are out.
Yep.
So, yeah. Well, anything you want to say?
I can't wait to go back to Korea though. You've never been to Korea as a civilian or got to do anything fun, right?
Well,
Just
I
that
went as
bullshit.
a Marine. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
I wasn't the same.
It's a good time.
I want to go.
I will definitely go back.
I want to go.
It's all right. I'll take you to Korea, and then you can take.
I'll take you to Disney
You
World.
can take me to Disney, even though you don't know where the rides are. We'll figure it out.
Man, fuck you.